This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, good morning. Now, last session, what we discussed? We discussed about Docker private repository. Docker private repository. What was the purpose we are using? Basically, once the Docker images are built, that images you want to store somewhere, we are using a Docker private repository. Before Docker private repository, what are the repository we can store the images? How many ways we have? One is the Docker Hub. Docker Hub is the public repository. If you are not create any private account, I means you are not paying for the money for them. No, they won't give you freely for this service. Now we can store only one private repository in the Docker Hub. If you push the 5, 6, 10 images, you need to pay for them money. Okay, for monthly basis or but for user access based. Okay, instead of Docker Hub in real time, what we are using? We are using the different kind of options. Okay, one is that Docker private repository, that is we are calling as a Docker registry. Okay, that is the image name we are calling as a Docker registry, that we need to set up ourselves. We need to set up ourselves in our system. That is what we discussed in the yesterday. And after that, what we are done, we are gonna do today Nexus. Nexus is the one of the tool which we can artifact storage. Now the same Nexus we discussed in our Jenkins sessions also, right? Now we are storing a Maven artifacts to your Nexus repository. The same way we can store our Docker images also in Nexus repository. Nexus or JFrog. In real time, they're gonna use any one of the two. Okay, if the people are using the open source one, Nexus or JFrog. JFrog is not a free source, guys. We need to pay for completely amount for them. Then only they'll give the option for us. That is a JFrog. There is a JFrog. Okay, and another option are like as ECR repository. There is a, if you are using in any cloud like as AWS or something like that, there is a service called as ECR, Elastic Container Registry. Elastic Container Registry, that we are going to use that ECR, that we are going to use the ECR. Now these images, whatever the images we build from Docker mission, if you want to store in the, if you want to use that images in the future reference or future deployment, whatever it may be, now these images we are going to store in the different kind of Docker private repositories. Now this is a Docker Hub which is given by the Docker guys, Docker INC. Now this is the image they can give. What is the image they will give? They will give the registry. Registry is the image, registry 2 something. Now this image we need to download, then we need to run as a container. That this software will work as a our private repository. The next Nexus. Today what we are going to do, we are going to set up the Nexus in one mission, and let's see how we are going to use this Nexus to store your Docker images. Okay, the next ECR repository. ECR means in Amazon, we already discussed right in the weekend session for ECR, Amazon ECR, to store our Docker images in ECR repository. Even that also we can see that. Now let's talk about today for to store your Docker images into Nexus repository. To store your Nexus repository, what you do? You need to set up a Nexus in your mission. For setting a Nexus mission, what I'm going to do? I am not using the same mission which I have installed the Docker. I'm going to take one more mission, that is another Ubuntu mission where we can install the Nexus. Then I build the Docker images here. This image I'm going to push to the Nexus repository. Now we can download for whenever we require. That is one of my private repository. Is it clear, guys? Requirement is clear now? Guys, just drop a message. Okay, fine. The next, what we are going to do, let's go for open the document for Nexus installation. Even this Nexus also we can run as a container. This Nexus also we can run as a container. That will see the like at the end. Basically, we will go for normal standard procedure which we are going to use in the previous Jenkins session. Go for the Jenkins and then go for the Jenkins installation. Okay, Nexus on Ubuntu. And for this, at least we need a medium instance. Micro instance is not enough, guys. Now you should take at least medium. Minimum this needed a 2 CPU core. Now what I'm going to do, let's launch instance. I'm going to select a Ubuntu instance here. v1 to 20.04, and this is a micro instance by default is selected. Now choose the medium instance, then go for the configure instance details, and the next, once it is done, then go for the storage. 8 GB is enough, and do the tags for this for filtering and then building purpose. Name, I'm going to name for what? This is the Nexus, and the security group. We'll come back to the what are the port need to be opened here. And if you want to make a good name for this, let's say Nexus. Let's see. Okay, Nexus security group. Nexus security group. Okay. What is the Nexus default port, guys? What is the default port Nexus will run? This key I already have. I'm gonna launch the instance. Cool. Now just let's start the instance. Okay, let's start the instance. Let's start the instance. Then we are using a mobile external to access the instance from Windows machine. If you are using Mac, then you can use that your terminal. Okay. Okay, I am in this path AWS D drive AWS keys. Now let me take a default one more here. Basically my keys are available like as D drive and DevOps and AWS keys. This path like as who are joined new guys, like I'm telling you guys. Okay, here not that actually, that is an yesterday I created. Now this DevOps and then AWS keys. This is the path I have my key. Okay, this is the path I have my key. Okay, now if you want to connect the instance by example, start local terminal. Mobile external is the SSH agent kind of. Do one thing, guys. Let me close this first. Let me close completely. Let me start it again. Now, if you want to go that, you need to go for CD drive and DevOps folder and then AWS keys. Now, this is the path I have in my keys, basically. This path also I set up in my settings by default. Every time I don't need to go for this path. Okay, shortcut. The next I need to paste this command. Let's connect the instance. Okay, it's already there. Okay. Now enter this. Okay, I logged in successfully. The next, when you make the new instance taking, what you need to do, let's update this mission. If you do have any things, the packages will be updated. After that, let's go for step by step. I think you already have this always, right? Now this Java need to be installed here. GRE open JDK package I'm installing now. This is the dependency new to run your Nexus, because Nexus are implemented in Java. That need to be installed. The next, download Nexus from here. I'm downloading this latest one. Before I'm gonna go for the one folder that your wish. Okay, wherever you want. Go this OPT folder, and the next and the next. Now I download the package, and we need to tar this, like as we need to unzip this whatever we downloaded. For this, using the tar command, once we extract it, we'll get a these folders, two folders we got in this zip file once we extracted. Now the version is the 3.366 here. Now what I'm going to do, I need to rename that actually. Okay, now for renaming purpose, I'm using a mv command, opt slash nexus slash, this is the one, to just make a simple name, like simply we can give the name called as opt nexus. When we are already in the opt folder, then you need to give the opt, but still I give it. Okay, then see that name, the name got changed to, this is the big name, right? But I make a shortcut for this small. Okay, then next what we did, we're gonna create a one user in Linux mission. For creating a Linux user in a Linux system, we are gonna use the add user command. Now set up a password for this guy. I set up a password, confirm the password, yes, full name, enter, 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 yes, enter. Done. We create a user successfully. And the next, let's go for the sudoers file. Then this is a sudoers file where we can give the permissions. Okay, now this is an editor to open by default. Add this nexus user into this file, because if some command, if I execute, don't ask me password. Okay, no password all for any operation, don't ask for password. That is the privileges we are gonna add this. You can add anywhere in this file, this line, that your wish. Okay. Okay. Now this is Control X nano editor. Control X Y enter. Control X Y enter. It will save your file. The next, once it is done, you need to give the permission for this folder. Who is the owner of this right now? The Nexus user. Right now, see here. Who is the owner for right now this file? This is the root user is the owner. Now what I'm doing now? Sorry. I'm doing right now, I'm giving the Nexus is the this folder permission. If you can see here, who is the owner right now? Earlier it was root, now I change the owner. I change to the Nexus user. Okay, now change this owner type work also. Change this owner type work also. Both I change the owner is what I want right now. This is the next. This is the one file which we can see in the nexus.rc. In this file, there is a which user you are created, that user we can mention here. I'm saying that what are the user I created, that is an Nexus user. I just given that username here. That is a commented line. I remove the slash and then save it file. That you guys already knows that. Okay. Let's make a soft link for this. Soft link, what is the use of soft link, guys? Now when you're booting your instance, the Nexus server will be start like that, right? Like when you're booting your instance, that init.d nexus means this is executable. Then it will start when the server starts. Just switch the Nexus user, change the user now. We are in the Nexus. Let me enter the password for this Nexus. Now see, earlier we are in the Ubuntu user. Now we are in the Nexus user now. The same server, we logged in as a different user. Now let's go and start the, I guess, Nexus start. Nexus start. Okay. The slash I copied mistake. This Nexus is status is running. Nexus is status running. If you want to check that netstat -nlpt, check the netstat tools are not there. Let's install the netstat tools. Now this is the command to install the netstats. Okay, this needed no sudo permission. Then you use the sudo apt install net tools. Okay, now this is done. The next, what do you do? Check for the again netstat -nlptn. the listening TCP ports, the TVS TCP ports, and that 80801 is up and running for us. 8081 means that is a Nexus. Even you can check for PS-EF grep Nexus. The Nexus process is running or not, you can check here now. This is the Nexus process is running on. If you want to kill that, you need to kill the Nexus process. Okay, that is what you need to be use this to kill that. Okay, cool. The next, what we do? Then go to your security group, then allow the 8081 port next. Go to Nexus security group. Then 8081, then save the rules. 8081. Let's access this. This is our Nexus server. Now we have successfully installed the Nexus. Let's sign in this, and sign in by default is the username is admin. Password is available under the Sonatype work folder. Under this is Sonatype work folder. This password is available. Copy this path. Copy this OPT till. Copy this path and copy this. This is the password. Don't copy the Nexus. Okay, you can ignore that. Then you can copy the till this. Then go to browser and enter the password. Sign in. Next step, it will ask to change the password. Now I'm changing for that is the default password which we copied. Now this is the your custom password. You need to make the change. I changed to again admin only, but that's fine. Enable anonymous access. Just leave it about this. If you don't want to give, you can don't give the disable one. That's fine. Then finish it. Now this is the what it happened. Now see here, this Nexus can do for all these kind of artifacts you can store. APT, Composer, Conan, CPAN, Docker, okay. Go, Helm charts, Maven, NPM, Agate, okay. PyP, Python packages, R packages, Go packages, Maven packages. It will store many things. Yum packages, Ruby gems, there are a lot more. Clear now? Now what we are going to do? We need to create a repository. For that, what the steps we need to do? Go for the settings, and there is a repository here. Repositories you need to create, and create a repository, and create repository. What repository we are creating now? Docker means Docker hosted. We need to create because we are storing the Docker images now. For that, we need to create a Docker hosted. Now let's say create any name, whatever you wish to, like as what are the project you are doing. That project name we need to give here. Let's say I'm going to give the Java app. Let's take a Java app as a repository. And this is the there is a something we need to set up. This is the HTTP. This is the protocol we need to provide. Let me provide the protocol. By default 8081 by default it is. And if you want to allow this, then we need to allow the one more port. Then go for the documentation, this Docker document, and then Docker private registry. Okay, now this one you can give the name, and you can give any port here, whatever you like, whatever is the open port is free right now. Then what you need to do, we need to give the 8081 is running then let me 8082 for this, anything that your wish. Okay, the next, enable Docker v1 API, then allow this, and the default we don't have any third party other storage, then we can use the blob only. The next, follow the dependency, then let's create a repository. That's it, there is nothing to do anything. Then create a repository. You can see there is a Java app repository which we created. Now see this. Okay, this is the what we are set up done. Now you want to browse these repositories, then click this here and the browse here. This is the what repository browser content. Browse here, and this is a Java app which we have done. Right now we don't have any images are stored here. We don't have any Docker images are not stored here. Now the same what we need to do. One second, guys. Here full train, guys. Actually, now people are asking me to any questions. Okay, right. Now this is the what we are set up done. Our repository is ready. Then what next we need to do? We need to go to the Docker host mission and then build the image and then push to the images. Before that, anything is pending here. Let me cross check once. Once we created that, that is we enabled already. Now the repository is ready. Now basically, if you want to push that, there is a one settings we need to do. Okay, that is the real images. Okay, we need to allow the like as permissions kind of the Docker image storage. Now for this, go for your settings again, browser settings, and here there is a real images. Now here there is a Docker bear token. Now there is a here we need to active this. We need to active this. We need to active this, or else you can't able to print your images. Okay, just you need to active this one. When this means if you move from here to here, just I select here, I move, drag and drop here. Okay, then if you are using whatever you like, like Canon default LDAP, npm again, that also is same if you are using for any purpose. Okay, that is done. That is Docker one is done. The next, once it is done, then go for your repository and make sure, guys, 8082 port we are allowing now. That 8082 port need to allow in your security group. We are using a 8082 port that's need to be open in your security group. 8082 is need to be open here and no, sorry, select anywhere here as of now, save the rule. Okay, once the save the rule, the next the Nexus is running now. Okay, and then run the Docker. Docker is the another server which we are installed the Docker. Okay, and which we are build the images, which we are push the images from. This is the host mission, Docker host mission that we have created in the previous sessions. Okay, now let it be run. Then take a new one, new tab. Let it come up. Okay, now let's push the our images from here to there. If you want to push that is by default won't work. Let me show the some problems here. Like as every day we are facing the issue. Then how to solve that also we are gonna see. Okay, it's running. Then connect the instance. Copy the command. Go to here. and to paste it here because I am in this path only, guys. Where this key is located, I am in this path. Okay, that's the reason I'm able to connect. Okay, the next, once you connected, let's see. This is the Docker images. What are the images are there? Let's check this in your system. Docker images. Now these are the images we have. This is our, which we are pushing to the our yesterday Docker private registry. Docker private registry which we have pushed. Now basically this Java app is the right. What to do? We need to rename this to as per our application. Now tell me how to rename this, guys. I mean, like, as how to create a one more image on top of it. This, which is the command we can use? Docker tag. Yes, Docker tag. This is the source of this, and v1. And what need to create? How look like should be this? Now this is should be your Nexus server public IP. Public IP, private IP. 1 second. You can take public. Where is it? Just a second. Public IP. Okay. Now this is the one I'm talking about. Take a public IP tag to this application to this is the what is the port we are giving. What is the repository we created there? That's need to be open here. And then next is the we need to log in the credentials here. Okay. Let me put this Docker tag. Go for instance. Go for this public IP. What is the port we opened, guys, here? What is the port? 8082. 8082. And the next, the repo name which we created, what? Java app, right? That's fine. Let's create Java app. Java app. This is the based on your project we can create. Let's create a v1. Now see Docker images. If you see now, the image is created now. Yes, the image is created now. What is the command? Sorry, 8081 I created. Sorry, you need to create a 8082. 8082. Okay, 8082 you need to create. Now, if you want to push this image, what is the command we are going to use? Docker push. Docker push. Now Docker push. Now it is saying that this is the HTTP error will come. Server HTTP 82 is not going to work because of this is the HTTP response to the HTTPS client. Basically, it is trying to this HTTPS. It's not happening. Now for that, what to do? We need to enable the less security repository. We need to tell the system, alright, don't worry, mama, this is unsecure. It's not. It's a secure repository only. Don't take a serious. Okay. If it is serious, it won't push. Okay. That's the reason what we are going to do. We are going to create a one file. Okay. We need to create a one file that is a daemon.json file. Now let's create that. That is the inside this file. Open this file. If it's already there, it will create. See, here it is there or not. Basically, the file it won't be there. Then what we do? Let's create the file. Let's create the file. Basically, this etc docker folder will be there already. etc / docker folder will be there. Inside the docker folder, there is no daemon.json file is not there. We need to create that file. Then sudo vi and then sudo is not required here. We can create directly because in the root, right? In the root path we are in this means where in the root means what? etc is the root path. Okay. The next what you do? Sudo vi daemon.json. Daemon.json file we need to be create. Daemon.json file need to be create. Now open this and then we need to add this repository. Even that also, like as I told yesterday, you guys can be set up for like as the Docker private repository instead of same mission, just run in the different mission. That time also you guys need to add here. You can add in the multiple comma separated in the multiple repositories here. It's an array. It's array means you can give the comma and then add number of servers here. What is the server public IP here? Take your Nexus server public IP and 8082 and then save this 8082 and then save this. Once the save this, we need to restart the Docker or else it won't work. Okay, that don't forget the step. You need to be restart the Docker. Now then only it works. Let's start the Docker service restart. Once it is done, and there is a one more. Let me try again. It works or not. That is the one reason it's not pushed. Let me try to push. It's saying that what? No basic authentication credentials. Now it's trying to. Now that issue is gone. There is another issue came. Now authentication credentials is not yet set up. Now we need to use which command we need to log in, guys. You need to provide the credentials. What is the command you need to use to log in your Nexus? What is the command? What is the command to log in, guys? Credentials. Anyone? Right. Login Nexus or Docker login. What is the command? You guys remember now? We are done for two things. Like as you know, ECR login we are done. Docker Hub login we are done. Okay. What is that? We need to do for what? Okay. Now the Docker login command. Okay. Let's see. Docker login admin the password of that and what is the password I set up that password. Okay. The same password whatever. Don't copy paste here. Basically, while I renamed my password now while login first time. That time I set up the admin only. We copied one a big password that is for to log in initial password. Then after that I change the password. That time I set up the password is the admin. Okay, and this is the public IP. The public IP is what? Public IP is take this Nexus. Copy this. Okay, the next once it is done. Press is that and 8082 port is the 8082. Is it clear now, guys? Docker login command. Let's prepare the login. Okay, now copy this. Copy this to into a Docker host mission. Now we log in successfully. Now let's see. Let me push now. Now it's trying to push now. We are able to successfully push the images to our Nexus repository. Let's go and confirm it. The image came or not here. It was nothing, right? Now let's go here. Go here. It was empty. Now this time let's see. Go for this one. And you can see let's say v2 Java app. Now this one, it's extract this and it tags you can see there's a v1 tag. Now this is the image we are able to download it. Clear na? Clear, guys? That is the way we can push the Docker images to Nexus repository. Nexus repository. Okay. That is all about the Nexus. Now from here, whenever you want, you can download what is the credentials you are using, that credentials, all the things. Fine. The next topic, let's discuss about the ECR repository also. Let's complete that also today. ECR. Elastic Container Registry. That we already know about it, right? Like basically ECR we already discussed in the last session. Let's discuss again one more time. If you guys in AWS, they provide a one ECR repository for us, ECR service and Elastic Container Registry. Then open it. Then open it. This is the one we already created in the weekend session. If you want, if you are not using, just ignore this now. Okay, just delete it. Just delete it here. And let's say create a repository first. Reserve private repository. Let's say Java app, like something. Java application I'm going to create. Now the next, create a repository. That's done. But right now, if you see there is any tags here, there's no images are till now. There is no images. Same like as Nexus and both are same. But here why we are using mainly for AWS services means because of the installation stuff, installation, maintenance, all these backup things. We don't need to do anything. Will all this stuff they guys will be take care of instead of us actually. That is the main reason we are using the AWS services guys. Okay. It's very easy. If you go for any startup companies, you are starting any company, the companies no need to struggle. If they want to create a database earlier days, they want to follow the many steps. Okay. The previous olden days. Nowadays, just you don't need to database knowledge you don't require. Then go for here, go for RDS, just next button, then done. That's it. The database will create for us. Database URL will come. Then we need to give to the developer. Developer will be created tables and then all the things. We don't worry about that. And that was simple, easy. Okay. Even you can start your company with the 2-3 people if you are like that. The most of the companies are once the cloud computing in the market, the business and startup are coming like anything. Earlier software companies means only 5-6 like people are will know that, let's say. And nowadays software companies means every street one company is there. One second guys. Hello. Yeah. Okay, fine. Sorry guys. Okay, now let's push the images, the same image. What I'm going to do, I need to be again tagging the with this name, and then we need to be push that. Now let's create a tag for this. Now same whatever we had done previously. Now let's create a one more image. You can create a number of images guys. Okay, there is here. Now how look like this image? Basically this image look like this is a repository. Go for repository, and this is the URL. Copy this, and then you can keep it the v1 or v2, whatever you like. That is the image. Okay, that is the image is available here. Docker push. Then this image. Guys, tell me one thing. If you want to push to ECR repository, what are the steps, basic steps you need to be follow basically? What are the basic steps you need to be know that? If you do any operation in AWS CLI, AWS, your authentication token has expired. First, we need to set up a AWS CLI. Okay, AWS CLI you need to set up, create a IAM user, go to get the download the IAM credentials. The next, set up your IAM credentials using AWS configure command. Now let me open that the credentials which I set up. Where it will store basically $home/AWS. Okay, remember this part guys. Okay, if you go for your real time, it will be very helpful. Okay, right now there is no setup for this. There is a two ways we can provide. What are the two ways? One way is that adding a credentials using AWS configure command. Another way is that attach the role to instance. Okay. Let me go for the roles. Roles is a very secure. Okay. Roles is a very secure manner to set up. Then go for EC2 and then instances. This Docker action and then instance settings. See attached replace IAM role. No role it is there. I have a full admin access. I have already created one role. That role from starting itself we are using the full admin access I am providing. This name if you not appearing, then go to your IAM, then create a role, then create a one role called as a full admin access. Okay, that you can refer in the IAM session guys. And we are completed. Okay, now we attach that. Then next what we do next, we need to check the AWS CLI installed or not. AWS -FN version. Now we are able to, we can see that AWS CLI installed in this mission. The next what we need to do now, we need to log in our AWS ECR. For that we need to use the one command like same Docker login command, right? We need to use the Docker login command here also. For the Docker login command, let's see here. Okay, this is the command need to open. Let me share this command. Let me show you here. Now here, what is the command here? AWS ECR get login password region AP South 1. This is which is the region I need to set up. Okay, and then Docker login username password, and this is the repository. What this is old repository. Just remove this here, and you need to go for your whatever you set up now, right? Just now. This is the repository. This is the new one. They copy until this .com. Okay, and paste it to here, and then select the entire command. Copy this entire command and then paste it to here. Okay, AWS ECR get login. Okay, and the next this will get the password and it will pass as that password into this Docker login command. Okay, now saying that some we can't get a REST token operation, the entry cannot included in the request invalid. Okay, let's do one thing. Go for AWS ECR login CLI2. Okay, then we have taken the same now. Now let me try this same command. Okay, copy this command. Get login password region is the AP South 1. And the -FN username and username is AWS and account ID is that is the one like 11 something is right. Just copy this account ID and the reason is what? Reason is the AP South 1. Account ID. Sorry. Reason is the AP South 1. Right. Now let's execute this command. Okay, cannot perform interactive login command. Why? It's same thing works in the last session, right? Just a second, 1 second. Let's try with this. One second. Mm, but just a second. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me attach the credentials now. Let's create IAM. The role is not working or what? That's right. Go for IAM. For the users. Let's create a users here. I'm creating one more user. Let's create a Docker. Okay, let's provide the existing policy. Give the full permission for this as of now. Tags review. Create a user. Copy this access ID. AWS configure. I think yeah, the problem here is basically it's already taking the old credentials. Maybe the credentials are already there. It is taking that credentials, but that is not a valid one. That could be the reason. Episode 1. Okay, and default format you can keep it this as it is. Let me try to. It succeeded. The problem is that it's the system already have a credentials. Now that credentials, what happened? That is expired credentials one. Now you can see the .aws. Now this is a file you can refer the credentials what is expired. Now it is taking as a first preference is this. If there is no credentials, the next what they do, they'll check for the roles actually. Okay, understand guys? Now we log in successfully. The next what we do, let's push the image now. Now we are pushing a Docker images to your ECR repository. The same thing what we do, we need to automate this thing using the Docker, like Jenkins with the Docker integration. As of now, we are done for everything is a manual step, but we need to write a pipeline, Jenkins pipeline code that we'll discuss in the next sessions. Okay, is it clear, guys? Yeah, this is all about the ECR and Nexus. The next tomorrow we'll discuss about the Nexus with Docker with Jenkins integration, freestyle Java and pipeline job. We'll see in the tomorrow session. And then install the Jenkins using the Docker custom Docker file. That also I'll teach you first. Then we'll go for next steps. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? My voice breaking. Maximum 99% no chance, dude. Guys, you guys can you hear me properly? Suchit-local and others. Oh, that's I don't have any issue to. If any issue is there, it will show that your network is less poor or something like that in GoToMeeting. The error will appear. Okay. Cool guys, then see you on the next class. Until then, bye. Yeah. Yes, we are done for today's session. Cool. Bye. Bye guys.